Hey guys, I just wanted to share some cool AI stuff that I've been looking at. So, for some context, and I'm going to start with a little bit of a tangent, so bear with me for a bit. But I've been really interested in the gut microbiome recently. And the gut microbiome is basically all these little critters, so bacteria, viruses, cells, and fungus that all live in the areas from your mouth all the way to your colon. And fun fact, there are actually 10 times more bacteria that exist in the average human body than human cells. Blows my mind. And it's basically becoming more and more clear that it is so important to have a healthy ecosystem of this bacteria in your body, not only for athletic performance, but overall physical, immune, and mental health. And I actually have this condition called ulcerative colitis that is really just a disorder of the microbiome. And I've been piecing together a bunch of different things lately that are related to my overall health and the gut microbiome. So before I go on to the really cool stuff, I'm just going to throw a plug in here. On Slack, you can find a Notion document on how to do good research that I made. And using that process, I actually found a ton of articles applying artificial intelligence to the gut microbiome. Super cool, right? So I just wanted to share one that I found particularly interesting, and then also I want to talk a little bit about how you can start playing around with data yourself for literally anything that you find interesting, especially once you found some papers and validated that your thoughts and what direction you want to go into make sense. Okay, so let's take a quick look at this paper. Basically what they're trying to show is an association between age and the gut microbiome. And what they'd found previously based on other studies was that there is some sort of an association with age, of a human's age and the gut microbiome composition, but there was no reliable way of actually predicting a person's age based on their gut microbiome. So what they wanted to do was create a method for predicting the age based on this microbiome based on deep learning. So they're using AI to build models so that they can predict age, and what they got was that they had a very accurate method of predicting the age that had an absolute error of 5.91 years when they used deep neural networks. And that's actually extremely accurate because it's really hard to just look at someone's body and then say how old they are, just because people age so differently based on what external factors they are, their lifestyle, a bunch of their stress levels, and so on. So this is actually highly accurate. It's one of the most accurate methods that I can actually think of, which is just crazy because it's using bacteria that don't even have your own DNA. It's just a bacteria that live inside of you. And that is a really reliable predictor of how old you actually are. So they're basically just building out an intestinal clock. So that's all the information that I can get from the actual summary or the abstract. I'm going to skip the introduction, go straight through to the discussion. So just a pro tip: as you're going through the discussion, you might find a bunch of abbreviations that you're going to have to go and do control find or something. Just find them through the papers, figure out what they mean. That doesn't mean that you don't understand. Don't get scared off. So we know that they've used a few machine learning algorithms, elastic net, random forest, gradient boosting, and then deep neural networks. Deep neural networks showed the best performance, and as I said, it was an absolute error of 5.91 years. Highly accurate, very, very cool. Another finding that I'm going to point out is that all the models that they use predicted higher ages for people with type 1 diabetes. So basically what they're hypothesizing is that diabetes might accelerate the aging process with some sort of a gut microbiome mechanism. So that's a really, really cool insight to just come out of applying artificial intelligence to this gut microbiome and aging process. And you might find something really interesting in the data that you're looking at too. I'm actually not going to go through the rest of the insights from the paper, but just looking through this in literally like 5 to 10 minutes, you can take away so much information just by reading the abstract and the discussion. So that's that on reading the papers. And then the other thing that I wanted to just show you quickly was Kaggle. So Kaggle, let's say you want to take a look at data yourself, play around with it. What you can do is there's a website called Kaggle, and Kaggle has a bunch of data. I just went on there really quickly and I just looked up the microbiome. I'm just going to show you actually. So you can see that there's the Human Microbiome Project, another Human Microbiome data set. So you can click through them. You can see notebooks that they have associated with it and the data as well. And then you can download this data and you can create your own notebook. You can look through this on Python, however you want, whatever way is most comfortable for you, and literally do some of your own AI machine learning on this data and figure out something meaningful yourself for some data set that you're actually interested in. You can literally look up whatever you want. So I just wanted to share that because that's something I was nerding out about and just find super exciting. If there's anything you are personally excited by, feel free to reach out to me. And if you have any questions, likewise. So take care and good luck with your projects. I'm so excited to see what you come up with in a few days.